I want also to speak about the responsibility that the U.S. administration, President Biden, and the Secretary of State Blinken has for the lives of every U.S. citizen that is out there. And they are responsible to bring the U.S. citizens back home safe and sound. We expect nothing less from the U.S. administration and from President Biden.
So, Governor, as we wait for President Biden's comments in less than an hour expected, obviously, you know, we've heard he will say we'll stand with Israel, aid is on the way. But as they continue to do that, they have not cut off or made commitments to stop the funding that would go to Iran, the proxy. And there's that $6 billion that many say could be frozen again. So how can you say you're with Israel, but at the same time still continue to fund Iranians who clearly have intentions on killing Jews?
Bianca, it's just such a head scratcher. I mean, the Wall Street Journal and the Washington Post, of all people, have both issued stories indicating of confirmation that Iran was behind the financing of what Hamas has done. And let's not let anyone forget that Hamas didn't just go in and attack military targets. They have beheaded little babies while they slept in their crib. They've set an elderly grandmother, sitting in a wheelchair on fire and watched her burn to death because it was going to be too difficult to move her to be a hostage. These are the kind of atrocities that are beyond barbaric, and Iran has helped finance this. Joe Biden's missing in action. I mean, I guess we'll have to issue an Amber Alert for him. Finally, he's going to talk about it today. But an American president, when there are Americans, it's bad enough that it's Israelis, but these are American citizens. He's the American president. He needs to be forceful and come out and say, harm the hair on an American's head and you will have hell to pay. I think that's what we need the president to say, but he needs to back it up and he needs to mean it and not just say some words that someone wrote for him if we're not going to follow through.
Well said, Governor. Also, there's a lot of questions about some of the elected members in Congress and the way they have not denounced these attacks. Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib has a Palestinian flag outside of her office on Capitol Hill. Our national correspondent Logan Raddick snapped the photo of it right there today. Interesting that obviously there's also an LGBTQ flag there, so she must gloss over the treatment of how those folks are treated in areas of the Middle East. But, you know, we have Representative Max Miller of Ohio introducing an amendment that would ban foreign flags from Congress. Overall, it's not just Tlaib. It is also folks like Cori Bush and AOC and the sympathizers, really, who are not making things very clear and not making, you know, statements that people say that should be coming from elected leaders in America. Governor, your response?
This is disgraceful on the part of people like Rashida Tlaib and AOC and Cori Bush. They ought to be ashamed of themselves. And what they need to do is to go to Israel, look those families in the faces whose family members have been slaughtered, not just killed, and not killed accidentally. These are not people who died as collateral damage to a military operation. These are people who were targeted for murder, cold-blooded, vicious, barbaric murder, because what Hamas has done is not to say, we're going to engage in a war, we're going after military assets, there may be some civilian collateral damage. They're going after the civilians. They're trying to inflict harm upon the innocent and the vulnerable. Here's the difference that I wish that these idiots like Tlaib and AOC understood. Hamas targets the vulnerable and the innocent civilians. The Israelis going into Gaza, they're going to target military targets and assets and infrastructure. There will be people, innocent people killed. You can't avoid it. But that is not what Israel will intend to do, and they take measures such as the knock on the roof, they drop leaflets, they put out statements and beg people, get out of this building, we're about to blow it up.
Absolutely. Final thought here. You know, there's a report by Business Insider that says Egyptian intelligence officials saying Israel was warned that something big was going to happen. There's reports that perhaps this was planned for about a year. You know, Israel and also U.S. intelligence are being called into question here, Governor Huckabee. I just want to get your thoughts. If they miss this, that also what is the possibility of missing what could be being planned within our country? As we know, our southern border has been wide open and people on the terror watch list are here.
I think there's going to be plenty of time to dissect where did the intelligence community completely fail. Maybe they were so busy being woke and making sure they were diverse that they weren't being competent. I don't know. But what I do worry about is what you just mentioned, and I hope every viewer takes to heart your comments. We've had millions of people come across this border from 170 countries. We have no idea who most of them are. They very well may be Hamas members as sleeper cells coming into this country about to inflict similar things to us. God help us if it happens, but it's going to be on the Biden administration's hands for opening the borders and saying, come on in, we don't care, and we'll just wave you right in and never even ask questions as to who you are, where you've come from, or what your business is here.
Yeah, and obviously when we see the president today, I wonder if he will take questions under the harsh criticism for all the funding to Iran. We will watch it. We will see it unfold, but it'd be nice to have the media be able to ask some of these tough questions if they're even willing to. Governor Huckabee, got to leave it there, but we'll see you back here real soon. And thank you for your time today.
Thank you, Bianca.